Hey guys, it's Chantel Ray, and I want to give you a special gift. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be giving you a couple of tastings from all 4 books: Waste Away, Fasting to Freedom, One Meal and a Tasting, and Freedom from Food. So each week you'll get a different one. And by the way, we do have a Facebook group and we get all kinds of questions. And they're great questions, but I'm thinking to myself, have you read the book? These are all in there. And so, by the way, if you haven't joined, go to Intermittent Fasting and OMAD group. We'll put the link in the show notes. But I want to give you a couple of testimonies. One girl said, "My name is Liz, and I have an incredible testimony that involves this book. At the end of 2015, I incurred an injury from work that would require surgery to rectify the situation." She says some more stuff, but bottom line, she says, "I ordered the book, and in 1 year, actually less, I'm thrilled to be down 70 pounds. My feet say thank you. My frame of 5'3" is back to its normal self. I'm a police officer, so being in shape is a must. I testify everywhere I go and recommend this book to at least 30 people. Liz." We have another one from Tamika in North Carolina. "I want you to know that I lost 10 pounds after listening to your book, but then I listened to it again 3 more times and lost that extra 20 pounds. I heard one of the girls on the podcast talking about how she lost that additional weight from listening to the book, and she is right. So I lost a little bit, then listened again, then lost a little more, then listened again, then lost a little more. Thank you so much. This has been a blessing." So just so you know, listening to it over and over and over is really the key. So what I want to encourage you right now, you can get all 4 books. You can get the ebook and the audiobook for only $39.99. Go to chantelrayway.com and get all 4 of them. Get them on ebook and on audiobook. Each week, you'll get a little tasting. Hope you enjoy today's. One meal a day, OMAD. Of the women I interviewed, 10% of them ate 1 meal a day, or what I will refer to as OMAD for the rest of the book. Even though 70% ate 2 meals, for a lot of them, it was more like 1 meal and a tasting. You may think eating OMAD sounds absolutely ridiculous, but it actually can save you a ton of time and money. Once your body gets used to it, it's not nearly as hard as it sounds. When I am in maintenance mode, I like to eat in a 6-hour window. But when I've gained a few pounds and really want to lose weight, eating in a 1-hour eating window and eating OMAD is what really works for shedding extra pounds. OMAD is based on the principle of intermittent fasting. In my opinion, the reason intermittent fasting is so effective is because you are always in a fed state or fasted state. The only way you could eat something while your body would still think you are in a fasted state is if you ate straight fat. So if you ate just a tablespoon of ghee, your body would still think you are in a fasted state. As soon as your body starts digesting all the nutrients from whatever you ate, and for several hours after, depending on the food you ate, your body is basically creating insulin. When it creates insulin, the insulin signals your body to store the food it has taken in. Your body has a choice. It can take the food in as body fat or as glycogen. If your glycogen stores are totally full already because you are not hungry and have enough already stored up, then your body is not ever burning fat because it is in complete storage mode. If I drink MCT oil or coconut oil with my coffee, it can cause me to gain weight. My body can choose the fat I gave it or the fat on my hips. I rather my body eat the fat on my hips or stomach. What does that hour of OMAD look like for me? For a while, I started eating my OMAD at lunch, which I like doing, but I have so much more energy and I'm so much more productive during the day when I don't eat. Instead of eating something quick for lunch, I really enjoy that OMAD at dinner with my family. When I was doing the OMAD at lunch, I sat down at the dinner table one night to actually eat, and my son, who always sets the table, put just a glass of water in front of me. I said, "Hun, I'm eating dinner tonight." And he was so shocked because it had been so long since I had actually eaten dinner with them. So I switched my OMAD to dinner. The thing that works the best is for me to have a very small tasting around 2 o'clock and then dinner with my family. If I choose to eat OMAD for the day, the very first thing I do is usually eat some sort of high-fat food. I'm usually very hungry after 23 hours, and this helps calm my body down and ease into digestion. I might have a quarter of an avocado or some almonds, just a small amount of fat because it helps fill me up. It's almost like an appetizer. If I'm out to dinner, I will order chicken lettuce wraps or something similar so that I can be a little bit fuller, then I eat my meal. If I'm going to have a dessert, I will wait a bit and have a little dessert. But let's be clear, even though I'm having dessert, I'm not eating a huge slice of cheesecake. Instead, I would eat some berries with whipped cream. This would satisfy the sweet tooth without causing pain, discomfort, or regret. Hey guys, I really want you to join our Intermittent Fasting and OMAD Facebook group. We're doing tons of giveaways right now for posting your before and after pictures and just for posting a question in there. We're giving away free protein shakes, some digest aid, all kinds of fun stuff. So please join our Intermittent Fasting and OMAD Facebook group. The link is in the show notes. If this is your first time trying OMAD, I don't suggest that you go from eating 3 or 4 meals a day to going into just 1 meal a day. It's great if you decide you're going to start intermittent fasting beginning with an 8-hour window, then 6-hour window, then 4-hour window, and work your way down. You must decide how and when you do best with your OMAD. Only you know how your body feels when you eat certain foods. Remember, most of the thin eaters do OMAD and a tasting, not just OMAD. It's up to you to determine when is the best time to consume your food for the day. Some people prefer to eat all of their daily required calories at breakfast time, some at lunch, and some at dinner. I only know one person who eats mostly breakfast and doesn't really eat lunch or dinner. There are many different viewpoints out there, and there's no absolute right answer to what is best. In my opinion, if you want to work with the body as much as possible, eating later in the day is preferred. I just feel like I'm so much more productive during the day with the number of things I can get done when I don't eat. Our bodies spend much of the day under the control of the sympathetic branch of our nervous system. This system controls the fight or flight response and helps us respond and react to stress. During the day, our bodies are naturally a little more stressed. As the day goes on and we transition into night, the parasympathetic branch of the nervous system kicks in. I talked about this earlier. This branch promotes rest and digestion. In the latter part of the day, our bodies are better suited for good digestion. I would say more than 90% of the people I know use dinner, or they will eat what they call LINNER, late lunch with a dinner, as their OMAD. They will have their tasting usually around 1 to 2 p.m. Eating later in the day also makes it convenient to enjoy your meals with friends. You can still participate in family dinners around the dining room table, go to a dinner party, or join friends out for an evening meal. Recently, I went to a fancy French lunch with friends to celebrate a birthday. We arrived at 1 p.m., but by the time we ate, it was 2 p.m. Because it was a big lunch in the middle of the day, that was the only meal for me and some of my friends for the whole day. If your meal satisfies your nutritional needs for the day and satisfies your hunger, there is no need to eat anything other than that meal. I cannot stress enough that the more interviews I do, the more people I find who are doing some kind of snack around 2 o'clock and then eating a dinner. But if they know they're going out for a big party, they might not have anything at all for lunch and save it all for that dinner. Then on the days that you have a bigger lunch and you weren't hungry for dinner, you could either sit and enjoy the company while having nothing to eat, or perhaps order a side of vegetables or a small salad so that you're not the only one at the table not eating. However, my friends and I have gone to lunch countless times where one or more of us doesn't eat because we weren't hungry. One of the things that really helps people wait until 2 o'clock to eat is having coffee with almond milk, coconut milk, MCT, oil, or cream. I always like to say that it's best if you can train your body to have black coffee, but most of the people I interview say they have coffee with cream in the morning, which allows them to wait until 2 o'clock to eat their first tasting. You can time your meals based on what works for you, not what others prefer. We eat a very early dinner in my family. I had a girl call me at 4:45 p.m. one time, and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm finishing dinner." She was surprised and was like, "At 4:45? You can eat an early dinner and you don't have to wait until 7 o'clock. I feel like the nice thing also is at the end of the day, I'm more relaxed and my digestion in the latter part of the day is better. I can take my time. I'm not worried about work or other things, and I can slow down a little bit. Just remember that even if you decide to eat a big meal at lunchtime, there's no reason why you can't participate in family dinner or go to a dinner party because you don't have to eat to enjoy the experience. That is the biggest thing. People who are thin feel no pressure to eat just because they're at dinner or a function. A lot of times, I'll go to lunch meetings or parties and people will say, "Oh, eat something small." But I'll sit there and not eat. You must get out of your mind that you have to eat just because you've been invited to an event or party. Eating has nothing to do with enjoying someone's company. Nothing. In fact, not eating actually makes the time more meaningful because you aren't shoving food in your face and you're able to talk more. When you're eating one full meal, eat whatever you want. However, when I watch the thin eaters eat, they maybe had a small servings of grain or a small servings of fruit. It's ideal to have vegetables and a protein as the major components of that meal, but eat what you want, eat what you're craving. If you want steak, eat a steak. If you want chicken, eat chicken. Whatever it is that your body craves at the time, go for it. Let me tell you some reasons why I love doing OMAD and a tasting lifestyle. It saves you money. You will actually save money. If I'm not saving money, it's because I'm eating really healthy, clean foods for that one meal. I might pick up something from somewhere and it might be a $30 meal. Some people spend $10 on breakfast, lunch, and dinner all the time, but I choose to spend $30 collectively on one single meal and get way better food. You can either save money and eat a $10 meal or get something more expensive and of higher quality. It improves digestion. When you fast for so long, it gives all your systems a way to rest. It can give your pancreas, gallbladder, and other organs a rest. It can really help people who have IBS and like issues. It helps you stop thinking about food. The weird thing is, when I put in my mind that I'm not eating for the whole day, I literally do not think about food. I'm able to focus on other things. You might think that if you're only eating once a day, you're going to be ravenous. But when your body transitions from a sugar burning mode to a fat burning mode, you are less hungry. If you're ravenous, that is why a tasting is so important. It helps you not to be crazy hungry. It increases energy. I'm telling you, when I eat OMAD, I just feel lighter and bubblier. The amount I can accomplish is just so much more when food isn't weighing me down. Another reason I like eating dinner instead of lunch is that I avoid the 3 o'clock slump. People are generally finishing their lunch around 1 or 2 o'clock, and that is when they start getting tired and sluggish and their blood sugar starts dropping. But I avoid that when I eat OMAD at dinner. It decreases inflammation. I have a lot of issues with joint pain and inflammation. My knees swell up and my joints hurt. But when I'm doing OMAD and a tasting, really making sure the food is high quality for that one meal, it really helps with these issues. It saves calories. I don't count calories, but I know just from the amount of food that I'm eating that I don't eat as many calories in one meal as I would be eating in 3 meals a day. Some days when I'm eating just one meal, I eat more than other days, which is natural. But often, because I haven't eaten all day, I get full really quickly, so my portion sizes are smaller. If you're listening to your hunger and your satiety signals when eating OMAD, you're going to eat less food. In the beginning, because they are waiting all day to eat, some people overeat. You must make sure you are still eating to the point right before you're full and not passing that point. If you're interested in going on an extended fast, then you need to get my book, Fasting to Freedom. The guidance in that book is different than if you're just going to do OMAD because the fasting period is longer. Most experts agree that as for having coffee or tea during your fast, you should be just fine. Some experts say if you drink coffee with less than 50 calories, then your body will remain in the fasted state. So your coffee with a splash of milk or cream is just fine. Others will say absolutely not. I also personally believe caffeine also has a stronger effect when ingested on an empty stomach, so it does a better job of helping you to battle fatigue and brain fog. This makes increased concentration another perk of intermittent fasting with coffee. Technically, you're not fasting if you add any of these to your coffee because they all contain calories. However, fats themselves won't influence your insulin or blood sugar levels, so some experts say that this is the most recommended choice if you're looking to boost your insulin sensitivity, if you have prediabetes or diabetes. While you may have heard recommendations for bulletproof coffee made by adding butter, coconut oil, and MCT oil to coffee, be aware that it contains over 230 calories in a 16-ounce serving made with a tablespoon of each fat. So you are adding tons of fat and calories.